presented by First Merchants Bank. I'm Bob McElligott. And tonight, our show is all about celebrating the life and the memory of Blue Jackets forward Johnny Gaudreau, as he and his brother Matthew were tragically taken from us back on August 29th.
And Danforth wins it. Gets to Damon Severson. Down low, Johnny Gaudreau with a shot. And he scores! And I got 2 words for you. Game over!
The National Hockey League is in mourning tonight following the death of Columbus Blue Jackets star Johnny Gaudreau. The 31-year-old New Jersey native and his 29-year-old brother Matthew were riding their bicycles when they were struck and killed by a suspected drunk driver not far from their hometown of Carneys Point. State police said the driver was attempting to pass 2 other vehicles when he hit the brothers from behind on the eve of their sister's wedding.
We're gutted and heartbroken for the Gaudreaus and the Morris families. His dad, Guy, mom, Jane, wife, Meredith, and all who loved and knew John. Good to the core, John leaves us a life's example of love, simplicity, and joy. He expressed that for the masses through hockey and personally through his relationships, which explains why he was universally adored in all the communities and lives that were lucky enough to enjoy number 13. We are sending all of our love and support to the Gaudreaus and Morris families during this heartbreaking tragedy. To say John will be missed doesn't completely capture it. May you and your brother Matt rest peacefully.
Growing up, I was an Edmonton fan. When Johnny came into the NHL, I became an Oiler Gaudreau fan, which is pretty oxymoronic. My brothers and I played a lot of pond hockey in Saskatchewan. Quite often, we'd be pretending to be number 13 for the Calgary Flames. It's so comforting to be around, so easy to be around. He always reminded me to never sweat the small stuff without actually telling me that, you know? It's my second season in the NHL, Johnny's first, the Blue Jackets. We were in Ottawa, and I'm coming down for pregame snack. Ready to get a coffee, got my headphones in, and ready to get ramped up for the game. And only one person is in the mealroom at the time, and it's Johnny. He's on his phone, just kind of hanging. He's got a bowl of Fruit Loops, no worries in the world. Super authentic. He was one of a kind. He was a great role model. And yeah, Johnny, you're a great person too. I'm honored to call Johnny a great teammate and a great friend. Love you, man.
It was Cole Sillinger and Sean Corrali before him talking about their fallen teammate, Johnny Gaudreau. I'm joined by Jean-Luc Grandpierre, and Jean-Luc, this is a show that nobody wants to do. Nobody chooses to have to come in and talk about tragedy like this. So, first of all, I appreciate you being here with me for this. And it has been a very rough week and a half in this organization, in this city, and all throughout the hockey world.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. It's been terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Right before Labor Day weekend, it's like everything changed in a moment, and it's not just the hockey community, but everybody around has heard about the tragedy of the 2 brothers, Johnny and Matthew, passing like that. But more importantly, it just makes you realize how fragile and how we can be done anytime, and we don't know. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened there. And it's still tough to talk about. It's been a week and a week and a half, and I think this is a weight that's going to weigh on this team, these fans, but especially the teammates all season long. There's no doubt about it.
Well, you're right. I agree with you on all of those points. And the funerals were held on Monday. The Blue Jackets team flew into Pennsylvania for the funeral, and I'm going to give you some pieces of the funerals right now. Johnny and his brother Matthew, an indivisible bond between these two brothers. And, you know, we knew Johnny was a family guy. You'd always see his dad at the rink during the morning skates or during practices whenever his mom and dad were in town. You just knew that family was a part of Johnny Gaudreau. But he and his brother had an extremely close relationship, and it's one that his brother Matthew's wife, Madeline, spoke about on Monday at the funeral.
We did long distance for 4 years while he was attending Boston College. Matty was so excited to play alongside his brother, something he never took for granted. The bond that Matt and John shared is something that, unless you knew them personally, even the most perfect words, pictures, or videos cannot adequately describe it. They were attached at the hip. They slept in the same room up until college, and neither of them ever wanted that to change. I remember in our early years of dating, our friend group would go to country concerts. When we got back to the house we were staying at, Maddie and I would go to bed, and we would always wake up with John right in the middle somehow. John took care of Maddie, and Maddie would take care of John. To know both of them was to truly love them. It was impossible not to fall in love with them. Meredith said it best: you do not hear one name without the other. They were so extremely proud of each other, and it brings me comfort knowing they are still together forever, as they always were.
Madeline and Matthew met in Omaha when Matthew was playing hockey there prior to going to Boston College, as she just said, and that's where they met and their relationship started before moving on. And you heard her say about how tight the brothers were and how they were inseparable. And the other thing that she really wanted to, she had a very important message that she wanted to hit home on. And one part of that was about how she and Johnny's wife, Meredith, are going to honor their husbands. But there was a much bigger message that is a really big thing that needs to come out of this entire tragedy.
I urge everyone to never drink and drive. Call a ride. Please do not put another family through this torture. The loss of Maddie and John will leave a hole in the family with his close friends, the community for eternity. However, their legacy will live on through the lives of everyone they touched, their kids, their wives, their parents, their siblings. God really did drop the best two boys, line mates forever. I love you so much, Matthew Ryan.
Just heartbreaking to hear, and that was the start. That was the first eulogy, as Madeline talked about Matthew at the funeral.
Yeah, absolutely, and heartbreaking, strong message, and that bond between Matthew and Johnny, as she said, is something that was extremely special. And you know, you're not in their life every day, but we know Johnny and his family more than the average fan, and you know, it's true. And I still remember watching the episode of Behind the Battle where Johnny shows that room where him and Matthew used to sleep with all the posters, and hearing the stories from Meredith and Madeline about how, you know, even when Johnny was in the NHL, he'd come back there in the summer and sleep with his brother in the same room because he just loved being home, and that's what brought him to Columbus. Let's be honest. He wanted to be closer to family, and he was just they're just an extremely simple family, and my heart breaks for them.
And when Meredith, Johnny's wife, started to speak, one of the things that she took us on a journey of how they met and how their relationship moved along. And throughout that part of her talk is when she talked about how special the communities of both Calgary and Columbus became to their family.
The COVID summer of 2020 rolls around, and it's been 2 years since the day we met. John's off to Edmonton to finish the hockey season in the bubble. A month goes by, and he comes back home. He lands at the airport and comes straight to the hospital where I was working to come see me, even though it was only for 20 minutes during my break in the middle of the night. And then later that week, he proposed to me. We get married the next summer. And soon after are expecting our first baby. It's everything we've ever wanted. It was this summer that John made the difficult decision to say bye to Calgary. He did it to be closer to his family, plain and simple. He wanted his parents and his siblings to be able to see more games and spend more time with us and our baby on the way. Immediately, everything was for our baby that was not even born yet. And I know it's getting repetitive, but he truly was a family-first guy, and this is something about him I admired. To the city of Calgary and the Flames organization, I want to specifically thank you all for the outpouring love and support you have for John, myself, and our family. And thank you to the many of you that traveled this far to be here with us. It's your memories, videos, tributes, and kind words that I'm so tightly holding on to one day show our babies how truly special their daddy was and how loved he was. Thank you for that. Calgary, it's such a special place in John's heart and mine. I really am blown away by your kindness, but at the same time, I'm not surprised at all because I have been lucky enough to call Calgary my home with John. I got to experience firsthand what kind people you are. John was so kind because having lived there for about 10 years, he became a Calgarian as well. I still plan to one day show our kids the city of Calgary and where their daddy experienced some of the best times of his life, where he made lifelong friends and where he called home for 10 years. Thank you for being our home away from home and for loving John so much. He's forever a Flame, and I'm so proud of that and so proud to call Calgary my home away from home as well. To Columbus and our Blue Jackets family, I can't describe how shattered I am that I don't get more time in your amazing city with John. The most underrated city. I'm so glad we got to learn the hidden gem that is Columbus, Ohio together. We had our first baby the same week we moved to Columbus for John's first season as a Blue Jacket. We welcomed our daughter Noah, Daddy's twin. John instantly was the best dad in the world. So cautious, so gentle, so loving and nurturing. Absolutely in love with his little girl who never missed a single one of Daddy's games. Noah is John's light that shines through every day. The happiest little girl with black curly hair and the darkest brown eyes you've ever seen, shaped just like her daddy's. Columbus, thank you for taking care of us when we were experiencing so many changes at once. You so quickly became home and became our family, and the memories we made in Columbus as a growing family are the best years of my life. Without having to explain all the little details, know that there were so many little signs as we got to know the city that truly made us feel reassured that we had made the right choice choosing Columbus. Thank you to the Fifth Line and the Blue Jackets organization for your love and support and comforting words. John was so proud to wear your colors every single day. He knew and appreciated how special of a community you are. He felt comfortable and he felt like he fit right in. And thank you for giving him that feeling of comfort, security, and belonging when he was enduring a massive change. You know it's a special place when the hockey season is over, but you're not quite ready to pack up and go home yet, and that is Columbus. The way I describe Columbus is similar to the way I describe John. You have to come and find out for yourself, and then once you know it, you love it.
Such kind, loving, inspiring words by Meredith Gaudreau in talking about both cities that Johnny Gaudreau blessed by playing in the NHL, Calgary and Columbus.
Yeah, absolutely. And what made him such a big hit and such a legend in Calgary, no doubt about it. And in Columbus, unfortunately, it's only 2 seasons, so the legend of Johnny will forever live. But we didn't get to see as much as the people in Calgary did. It's not only what he does on the ice, which he's a superstar, but when you meet him, if you see him at the grocery store, this is the least Hollywood type of person you'll ever meet in your life. His simplicity was like, you would not think this guy's an NHL star making $9-10 million a year because it was so simple. And Meredith talked about, him leaving the house sometime in her pregnancy sweaters, and he did not care because it was comfortable to him, and T-shirts with holes, it didn't matter. It was not a flashy guy, a very simple guy in everything he did, and a true family man. So, listen, death is always hard to deal with, no matter what the age, but at such a young age, being a young man with, a growing family, and knowing the type of person that he was, it makes it that much harder.
Well, it does indeed, and it is hard for everyone. And coming up next, Blue Jackets assistant coach Jared Boll is going to sit down with us and talk about things from the team perspective and how hard it's been on him, the members of the coaching staff, and the players on the team as well, as the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank continues on 97.1 The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
This week at Meijer, get more for your money in just one stop. Find fresh California green seedless grapes for $1.49 per pound. Delicious whole pork shoulder butt for $1.99 per pound. And select General Mills cereal for $1.99 per box. Plus, flu and COVID vaccines are available now. And you can earn M-Perks points at the Meijer Pharmacy. So schedule your appointment today. Get the same low Meijer price no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Dormar, your climate hero.
Nord, what's that guy yelling about in my noisemaker?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Your climate hero, you fossil?
What's a climate hero?
That's Dormar, our same-day heating and AC company we've used for 60 years.
Who?
Dormar, your climate hero.
Come on, Dad, you laugh every time you hear their tidy-whitey commercials.
Yep, those are funnier.
Dormar, your climate hero.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall, and American Nitro Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest presented by Lowe's is back for year 2, and I'm so excited. We got the wing smoking competition that I'll be judging, cold beer, food trucks, tons of wings, and a great cause. We're raising money for Ghosts of War, providing immediate assistance to veterans in need. So get your tickets at americannitro.com/wingfest. Free admission for all current and former military members. Brought to you by Lowe's, Columbus Chamber of Commerce, Dave & Buster's, Valpak of Central Ohio, Heidelberg Distributing, and more.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine. imagine. My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean, interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
As the official financial services partner of your Columbus Blue Jackets, Bread Financial is ready to join the fifth line and light the fuse. And that's not just cannon fodder. They offer simple, personalized payment, lending, and saving solutions. From the Bread Cashback American Express credit card to high-yield savings, CDs, and even buy now, pay later options, you'll find financial solutions for any budget. Shoot and score at breadfinancial.com.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. Oh no, I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my 2 best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Light winds, low humidity, and plenty of sunshine on this Wednesday. Temperatures in the upper 80s, falling down to around 60 degrees with clear skies and light winds by Thursday morning. And after a mild start, a hot finish. Increasing clouds, a little late-day sun, and high temperatures near 90 degrees. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank. Tonight we're celebrating the life and the career of former Blue Jackets forward Johnny Gaudreau. I still, just to say it, just doesn't feel right. Johnny and, of course, his brother Matthew, who both were tragically taken from us just about a week and a half ago. We're joined right now by Blue Jackets assistant coach Jared Boll. And Jared, we were just sitting here 2 weeks ago, all three of us, and we were talking about the upcoming season and about the plans that you had as coaches and the changes that were made in the summer, and everything seemed to be going so well. And here we are 2 weeks later, and so many things have changed. First of all, for you, when this all went down, where were you, and did you know what to think as you were finding things out?
No, I mean, it obviously hit me by surprise. You just never imagine this happening to anyone, you know. So it's just, you have a ton of emotions. It's a shock at first, and you don't really believe it's real. And you have anger, and you're sad, and you come and you see the guys that have known Johnny for a long time and had really close relationships with him, and you see how bad they're hurting, and it's just tough to take. But I keep telling guys we're going to have to lean on each other. We're a family in here, and we take care of each other, and everyone's going to handle it different. There's no right or wrong way to handle something like this. So just be there for each other, support each other, and we're just lucky we have this Blue Jacket family for everyone that's involved.
The visual here, a couple of days before you guys traveled as a team out to Pennsylvania for the funeral, the visual being there and being a part of that was really, it was hard.
Yeah, it was really hard. That's the right word for it. And what really hit home to me is you hear about Johnny and Maddie's passing, and then you come to something like that and you see the fan support, and you see guys like Boone, like Goody, like Silly, a young guy like that, standing up there and talking, and how much I mean, that's hard to do. It takes a lot of courage to stand up there and talk about a close friend like that. So to see those guys hurting so bad and still have enough, power to get up there and talk, it hurts, and you feel for everyone involved. But like I said, we're in it together. We have a really good room, and we just got to lean on each other at times like this.
We really appreciate you coming back on with us just to give the perspective from inside the dressing room. It means a lot to us. I'm sorry that you're back already in this situation, but one thing that we know from knowing you and the other people that are around here is that you're going to help those guys get through it. And somehow, as you said, you're going to come together as a group. And, winning and losing isn't exactly the most important thing as this camp opens right now. I get it. But in some ways, I hope that this is a galvanizing force for all of you.
Yeah, no, and I think the guys will be there for each other, which is important too. They have us, they have the staff, they have management, but they need to be there for each other and help each other out. Just knowing Johnny, everyone knows he was a superstar that just wanted no attention, and he was never about himself. And knowing him, he would tell the guys to push, and they know that, they can feel that. And he was a competitive guy, quiet but funny. I got a funny story if I have time to
absolutely
tell a story. And people always ask me what he was like. And I coached him for 2 years. There's a lot of people that had a lot stronger and longer relationship with him. But you meet him for a day or you know him for a year, it doesn't matter. Everyone says the same thing. They felt like they knew him their whole life because he was just that type of person, just an amazing person. And one game we were in St. Louis, and last year there was some tough times, and we were blowing some third period leads, and it's late in the third, and I think we're up 1-0. I don't think we have a shutout all year, and the puck comes up to our D-zone blue line, and it comes to Johnny, and he chips it out, and I don't know if I was just into the game. I didn't think he got the puck out. So he comes back to the bench, and me as I am, I give it to him a little bit, and I said, Johnny, get the puck out. And he turns around and he says, I did get the puck out. And there might have been a few F-bombs or some swear words on both ends. And I said, get the puck out. He said again, I got the puck out. And then I said, okay, if you got the puck out, I owe you a beer. And he turns around and he smiles. He's got a big grin on his face. He goes, I'll take a Coors Light. And sure enough, I checked the video after the game, and he did, not by much, but he did get the puck out. So I went to him next day in the room. I said, Johnny, I owe you that Coors Light. You were right. You did get the puck out. And it was just, that's how he was. Like, you could give it to him, and he knew, like, everyone was in it for the right reasons. You want to win, and you're competitive, but he just, no sweat off his back, just turns around with a smile and knew he was right. And it's just a story I'll remember in the short time coaching him, because it was always fun with him, and he just loved the game, and he loved being pushed and being competitive. So, yeah, he's going to be dearly missed, and we'll come together as a team and work through it.
I'm glad you told that story. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Really. And we know in a little bit that we got to be around him and interact with him how true that story is and how just down to earth Johnny Gaudreau was. And, so thanks for that.
Yeah.
And thanks for being with us again and addressing this from the team standpoint. Couldn't appreciate it more.
Yep, thanks for having me, guys.
That's Blue Jackets assistant coach Jared Boll. Coming up next, we'll go to Calgary. Derek Wills is the radio voice of the Calgary Flames. He will tell us how the fans of the Flames are reacting to the loss of Johnny Gaudreau as the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank continues on 97.1 The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nesting that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature-Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. If you're like me, you've endured foot pain way too long. You've tried to mask it with thicker socks. I bought over-the-counter insoles. In a nutshell, all failed remedies for me. It was awful. I wanted to exercise, but I knew how bad it would hurt, and that tired me out. I had plantar fasciitis, that sharp pain in the heel. So I was introduced to the Good Feet store pain relief solution. Relief nearly instantaneously. My feet now feel supported, and my body is aligned again, thanks to my personally fit arch supports. And the beauty is, if you like how they feel, you can wear them home that very day. The fitting and test walk is free, so you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA. Sore feet spoil life. Come to the Good Feet store today. Locations on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City. You can learn so much more at goodfeet.com. Try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the Slightly Above Average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a floor. No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex Pros.
The pros who know electrical work, too. Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros, and if you'd like us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're gonna love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
Welcome to the greatest show on turf at Great Lakes Kia.
I'm pretty sure that's just tile.
And you can feel the excitement in the air. Brand new Kias under $5 a day.
I'm Bart Zimmerman, General Manager at Great Lakes Kia.
Bart's coming up big. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV Wind, and Sorento LX.
Under $5 a day. $5.
Oh, and the fan favorite, new 24 Kia Telluride LX, under $8 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
Even new 24 Kia Carnival LXS, under $9 a day.
There's a flag on the play. It looks like credit interference.
No problem. Get approved with 1.9% financing.
Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus,
GreatLakesKia.com.
Visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
We're joined right now by Derek Wills, who is the radio play-by-play voice for the Calgary Flames. And Derek, of course, this tragedy with Johnny and his brother Matthew extends throughout the entire hockey world, but is especially hitting hard in Calgary, where Johnny spent 10 years as being a Calgary Flame. I know just from going through social media and seeing the tributes and the vigil there that the fans have really come together. Can you give us your perspective on what the feeling is in the community in Calgary and exactly, how the fans are reacting there?
Everybody's still grieving, Bob. I mean, I'm sure you felt the same way when you heard the news, and I don't know about you, but for me, it was hard to believe at the time, and it's still a little bit hard to believe. I'm not sure that the darkest producer or director could have written a movie script to tell the story. So everybody is still grieving. And on Tuesday, I emceed the Flames celebrity golf tournament, tournament that Johnny attended and supported many times. And you could tell that not just the team personnel, but sponsors and fans. Everybody had a heavy heart at a day that is normally a lot of fun as you raise money for so many great causes. But we watched Johnny grow up here as a professional and as a person. And I remember my first ever interaction with him was at the Young Stars Classic, the rookie tournament in Penticton, BC. And he'd already played in one NHL game, played in game 82 in the 2013-2014 season, and scored his first goal in the league in that game. And then came back, and we all had him penned, if not penciled in, for a spot on the Flames roster that season. Of course, they said he had to earn it, but I'm not sure any of us believed that. And I remember my first interaction with him was outside the dressing room at the South Okanagan Event Center. And I just introduced myself. It was my first season and wanted to make sure I had the pronunciation of his last name right. I said, "Is it Johnny Gaudreau?" And he said, "Yeah." So for about half a season, I called him Johnny Gaudreau until I met his parents, Guy and Jane, and they introduced himself as the Gaudreaus. So that was kind of the start of it for me. And we fell in love with this guy here in Calgary. He obviously was a very special player, could do things that not many players in the league could do, and was a part of so many incredible moments. And, you know, we went from a guy who his teammates poked fun at because he was, you know, fresh out of Boston College and kind of literally a kid in the candy store with the amount of Skittles he ate his first couple of years in the league. But, you know, the guys would poke fun of him for that. But then he grew up and he became a great player and a husband and a father. And we were all so sad to see him go in free agency. But, you know, he lands in Columbus, and I'm sure was doing many of the same things for the Blue Jackets that he did for the Flames over the years. So just an unspeakable tragedy for the Gaudreau family. And, you know, as you mentioned, not only the family, but friends, his hockey family and the hockey world. We're all still mourning the loss of Johnny and Maddie for sure.
You mentioned when he left Calgary, and that was such a traumatic time for the fans of the Flames. And I remember the first time Johnny came back there and how they booed him every time he touched the puck. I mean, relentlessly booed him. And then there was the video tribute during the TV timeout, and the boos turned into a standing ovation and an outpouring of appreciation for Johnny and what he did as a member of the Calgary Flames. And then when that was over, it turned back into boos again, which I thought was just absolutely the correct way that it should have been handled. But is it fair to say that in some ways the fans in Calgary grieved a loss of Johnny Gaudreau a couple of years ago when he left the organization? Because I think the people in Columbus, we're going through that grieving now. And I know that in Calgary you still are because of the loss of life. But, you know, it's almost like a lot of heavy grieving went through when Johnny left the organization. Now it's just an overall appreciation for who he was as a person and a hockey player.
I probably shouldn't speak for Flames fans, but I feel like I can speak for Flames fans in answering this question. I think Flames fans booed Johnny Gaudreau, not because they didn't like him, but because they loved him. And it hurt to lose him. And I'm still not convinced that if it was only up to Johnny Gaudreau, that he would have left Calgary and explored free agency. I really think he loved the city, loved the Flames organization, but ultimately there's more to life than just work for anybody, even a professional athlete making millions of dollars. So you have to factor in family. And his family and Meredith's family were all out east. They were starting a family, and that's not easy for anybody. And you need to have support from mom and dad and brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and everybody. So I think that certainly factored in heavily in his decision to leave Calgary and to sign in Columbus. But I do think that there was a bit of a grieving process there. But Bob, to your point, you play the tribute video. How do you boo the guy after that? How do you not give the guy a standing ovation after that? I mean, I've been calling Flames games for 10 seasons, going on 11. And of the top 10 moments that I can remember, you know, during that decade, Johnny Gaudreau was involved in almost all of them. I think back to his first full season, which was my first season back in 2014, 2015, and I'm sure you remember that Find a Way Flames team that won so many games in improbable fashion. No one gave him a chance to fight for a playoff spot, let alone get to the Stanley Cup playoffs and to win a series. And they wouldn't have done that without Johnny Gaudreau. I remember it was the final game before Christmas in 2014. And if I'm not mistaken, the Flames had lost 8 straight games. And they were in Los Angeles playing the Kings, bit of a back-and-forth game, and the Flames were down a goal late. And Johnny Gaudreau completed a hat trick and tied the game up before Mark Giordano won it in overtime. And I am convinced that the Flames do not win that game. They do not make the playoffs and have a chance to win a series, because the guys would have gone right into their Christmas break having to answer questions from family and friends about a 9-game losing streak. Instead, they felt great about a come-from-behind win, and second half of the season, despite losing their best defenseman in Mark Giordano, everything else kind of went their way, and they clinched this playoff spot in game number 81 and wound up winning that series against the Canucks in game 6, and unfortunately lost in round 2 against the Ducks. But the fact that they got there and won a series was incredible, and Johnny Gaudreau was such a huge part of that.
Derek, thanks. Thanks for giving us some of those stories and the perspective in Calgary. I really, really appreciate it, and very much look forward to coming to Calgary, which is going to be early in the season when the Blue Jackets and Flames get together this year at the Saddle Dome, because I'm sure it's going to be special. The parts of it are going to be sad, but it's going to be special. So I look forward to seeing you. Thanks again.
I look forward to seeing you as well, and I guess ironic, it's the Flames' 13th home game of the season, which in the worst way possible does feel fitting, as we'll honor number 13. And I can tell you, the city of Calgary, the Flames fans are mourning. I know the city of Columbus and the Blue Jackets organization and fans of your team are as well. So my deepest condolences, obviously, to the Gaudreau family and friends and the Blue Jackets family as well. We're all trying to hang in there, so I hope you guys are getting through the days as we're trying to do here.
That's Derek Wills, the radio voice of the Calgary Flames, with a perspective from the franchise that Johnny Gaudreau played for in the first 10 years of his NHL career. Jean-Luc Grandpierre and I will be back to wrap up the Inside Edge presented by First Merchants Bank here on 97.1 The Fan.
Death, taxes, and beating Michigan every damn year. This is your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I have the greatest lawn in the neighborhood every single year. And the reason why is water and Weed Man. Good news, I'm only selling you one of them. Fall is the perfect time to improve your lawn for next year. The work you do or don't do now is directly reflected next spring. If you want a beautiful spring lawn, it starts now, not next April. Now through the end of September, mention the promo code Common Man and get a free blanket weed control with the purchase of a full program. For a free quote, go to weedman.com. That's weedman.com.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Use your own body's healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get you real lasting pain relief? That sounds amazing. Hey, it's Bobby Carper. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine. And if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders, I've had it before. I've had it in my knee. I went and saw the professionals, the experts at QC Kinetics. They're the leaders in regenerative medicine. Guess what? There's no surgery, there's no drugs, there's no downtime. And my dad did it as well. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients just like me. So I'm back to running again. My dad is back to walking again. They've got locations conveniently located in Dublin and Gahanna. So go check them out by going to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Morning Juice.
You can't go in there and tell people you're the leader. Men don't follow titles, Bean. They follow courage. And so you have to be able to prove that you are the one for them. The room needs to see it.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
Here are 5 great reasons to get a Blue Jacket season ticket plan this season. 1. Choose the games you just gotta see. 2. Plans start at just 11 games. 3. Savings up to 40%. 4. A ticket trade program for games you can't make. And 5. Invitations to exclusive events all year long. Come on, need more reasons? Visit BlueJackets.com/tickets today.
Every breakaway, every penalty kill, every check into the boards, it all takes hard work. And hard work needs advanced rehydration. That's why the Columbus Blue Jackets choose Pedialyte as their official hydration partner. Pedialyte has twice the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading sports drinks. Hydrate like the pros and make Pedialyte a part of your exercise routine. Per liter, Pedialyte has at least 1,030 milligrams of sodium and no more than 25 grams of sugar. Leading sports drinks have approximately 460 milligrams of sodium and 58 grams of sugar.
Let's talk interest rates. Not that kind of interest. I mean interest in you. At First Merchants Bank, we are 100% interested in your success. Our bankers provide a level of attentiveness unlike any other. We're here to get to know you and to be a helpful partner in your financial success. Aren't you tired of your bank just saying they care about your business? Make the switch to First Merchants Bank and feel the difference of real, honest interest in you. First Merchants Bank. For a better banking experience, visit firstmerchants.com/switch, helping you prosper.
On the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank, celebrating the life of Blue Jackets forward Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew, who were tragically killed back on August 29th. We've heard from Jared Boll talking from the team's perspective. We just heard from Derek Wills giving us some insight into the feelings and what's going on in Calgary, where Johnny started his career and played for the first 10 years of his life. And Jean-Luc, as we've seen throughout this entire process, it's not just Calgary, it's not just Columbus, it's the entire hockey world. As a matter of fact, Johnny Gaudreau was such a superstar. And you said earlier in the show, an unassuming superstar. But he had such a name that this has been a worldwide story. It has come outside of the hockey world itself and has affected people everywhere.
Absolutely, it has. I mean, first of all, we saw LeBron James tweet about it. We saw it at baseball games. They had moments of silence. The soccer game, obviously, and then I think WWE Raw was in Calgary yesterday, and Jackie Redmond, obviously, NHL sideline reporter, did a good special on the memorial that they had set up in Calgary. So this affected the whole sports world, but also just the world in general. I mean, CNN was talking about it. So this is bigger than just sport. This is a tragedy that could have been avoided, unfortunately, and I hope that people can learn from that.
Yes, that's really what you're looking for, is the lesson in everything. Because look, we're in a business where it's about winning and losing, and winning is the absolute goal, and losing, quite honestly, isn't acceptable. But when you look at life, you're going to lose. And it's about how you lose. And it's about what you learn from losing that makes you a better player, or better person, rather. In sports, it can be a better player. But in life, what do you learn from losing that makes you a better person? You're going to lose your grandparents. You're going to lose your parents. You're going to lose your siblings. You're going to lose your spouse. That's just a way of life. That's honest. But what happens to you? Who are you when that happens to you at the very end? And that's, as you're saying, that's what you really need to I've really been trying to sit down and think about this, and what is the message for me? What is the message out of this tragedy and watching this family go through what they're going through? What can I take out of that to make me a better person along the way?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm right there with you. Listen, I think Madeline talked about it the best, right? And, you know, you talk about the bond that those two had, and is like, how can you just be a better, you know, father? Be in the moment, right? Be in the moment when you're talking with your kids. And I know, you know, we got that little thing that's always in our pocket or in our hands and phones, and it gets in the way of life sometimes. But really, like, you know, when your spouse or your friends are talking to you, put that phone down and be in the moment and try to cherish every moment, because there's an expiring date on us and nobody knows when it's going to come. And unfortunately, sometimes it comes way too early.
Yes, it does. And that is a message that Father Anthony Pena, who is from Boston College, knew John and Matthew from Boston College. He was had the mass, the funeral mass for the boys on Monday, and that is one of the things that he challenged everybody, whether they were in the church, whether you were watching online, whether you heard about it from someone else. It didn't matter. He had a challenge for everybody.
What are we going to do now? How are we going to leave this church and somehow add on to the legacy of these two young men who have done their thing? How are we going to honor them in our own lives? I, for one, am going to be a better brother to my sister and my 4 brothers. I'm going to work harder. I saw what how real brothers love look like. I'm not quite there yet. So I'm going to try to honor them by being a better friend and a better brother. How about you? What are you going to do? Maybe we can learn from this that we're not guaranteed long lives. So maybe we should live our lives with more urgency. We saw what real love looked like. Maybe in our own families we should find a way to be more loving. Life is very fragile. These are 2 healthy young men. Who would have expected them to go down like they did? But they did. Maybe we should understand how fragile life is and make better judgments in our own life. And maybe we should try to be more protective of those people in our life that sometimes need protection. And the last thing I would like to say, maybe we can start the Goodrow schools across this country. Maybe you should try hard in your own life to create a very loving home so that when your kid grows up, they're kind of like Maddie and John, good kids who know how to love. And wouldn't that be nice? And wouldn't our world be better because we were inspired today by their lives?
Such a simple message, but in today's world, I think it's a very pertinent message, because sometimes you just forget small things, and that's something we need to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's a simple yet extremely, extremely powerful message by Priest Pena. And, you know, it doesn't matter where you were when you heard the news, and it hits home. And then for me, listening to him talking during that funeral, which, you know, it was 2 hours or so long, but it felt like 15 minutes because it was, well, first of all, you're celebrating the life of 2 young men there, but also, like, the message was so strong that it was kind of like going to school, to be honest with you. And hopefully we take something from it and change our lives. Everybody can be better. A lot of people need a lot of improvement, some a little less, but nevertheless, I think the message definitely resonates with everyone.
Well, I know that we've talked about a lot of sad things on this show because even though we are celebrating, it is very sad. There's no question about that. And that's why I want to play this clip from Erica Branson, who at the Candlelight Vigil, I thought did a very good job of addressing the seriousness of this situation, but also adding a little bit of humor that really just humanized his good friend John.
Our hearts are shattered in a million pieces. There's no doubt about that. Johnny was an amazing teammate, an amazing friend. I thought I'd give you a little bit of a bird's eye view of what it was like to watch John walk into the room. We had to be in our shorts and ready for a coach's meeting at 5 o'clock. He'd walk in at 4:59 and a half. And guys would be sweating for him, and he'd walk in dragging his heels, just perfectly on time, not sweating it at all. Right after games, I'd have my left skate still on, and he'd be walking out in his suit. And it got to thinking that, you know, we try so hard and work so hard to be professional and there on time and prepared and whatnot. And it's made me wonder, since Maddie and Johnny have passed, that whether he had it right and we didn't. That entire time that he was away from the rink, he was sitting on the couch with Meredith and his children, being the best possible father he could be, son, brother. He truly was. I was fortunate to sit in on a few family dinners of his, and they were special. Another time last year, our equipment staff were really losing their minds the day before training camp because John used the same skates for 2 years, and he showed up with a skate with no toe cap on it, and they couldn't fix it. And it turns out the day before he was drying his gear in the driveway and he ran it over with his Escalade. Yeah, and on a personal note, something that I'll very dearly miss. I had this little thing with John where I'd pick him up and give him a bear hug. And I wouldn't let him down until he told me he loved me. And he wouldn't tell me for a long time. But I know up here today that it was because he enjoyed the hugs. And it's just, we just miss him so much. It's wrong. And I urge you, please, 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 and I beg you, having fun is one thing, but please find a ride home. There's no reason for a tragedy like this. There's so many options available to you. Just please, please, please find an alternative way home. Thank you.
And again, that is the biggest message to take out of this. You heard Madeline way back at the beginning of the show saying, please don't put another family through this.
Yeah, absolutely. Tragedy and something that resonates. The way she phrased it makes it even more powerful because, listen, drinking and driving is a crime, but that's nothing, right? A DUI is nothing compared to the tragedy that can happen, and the loss of life is what we're talking about here. So the stakes are high. Just take a cab, call me. I don't drink, so I'm always a designated driver.
Well, as I said before, this is a show that nobody wants to do. So I thank you, my friend, for doing it with me. I also thank Jared Bull and Derek Wills for joining us here tonight. And thanks to you for being there, as always, to celebrate the life of John and Matthew Gaudreau with us tonight. That'll do it for the Inside Edge, presented by First Merchants Bank. I'm Bob McElligott on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite Fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. If you're like me, you've endured foot pain way too long. You've tried to mask it with thicker socks. I bought over-the-counter insoles. In a nutshell, all failed remedies for me. It was awful. I wanted to exercise, but I knew how bad it would hurt, and that tired me out. I had plantar fasciitis, that sharp pain in the heel. So I was introduced to the Good Feet store pain relief solution. Relief nearly instantaneously. My feet now feel supported, and my body is aligned again, thanks to my personally fit arch supports. And the beauty is, if you like how they feel, you can wear them home that very day. The fitting and test walk is free, so you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA. Sore feet spoil life. Come to the Good Feet store today. Locations on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City. You can learn so much more at goodfeet.com. Try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.